Hi, guys. We're going to continue with our mystery, our third grade detective mystery. I think you're going to find this interesting. We're going to look out for a red herring. So, we're going to talk about what that means. Today, you're going to find out. So, the elements of a mystery are right here. We know we have a victim, we know we have detectives. We don't really know if we have suspects yet. So that's something we're going to work on too today. A suspect are the people that you believe to have committed or taken part in the crime. Like, who did it? We don't know if we have witnesses at this point. An alibi is somebody who has a reason to say that that suspect is not guilty. The red herring is what we're looking for today. And that's a false lead or a suspect that is meant to throw everything off, throw your detective off the track. Bad information. And then we need evidence to prove something's right or wrong. You know, did they do it? Did they not? We know we had a crime, obviously. And then the clues, we've been collecting them along the way. We have the envelope, we have the saliva on the envelope, we have knowing that if somebody is going to be left-handed, that more than likely they're a left-handed person. So let's look out for the red herring or the false leads in this story right now. Chapter 8. Noelle and Todd hurried outside. All the other kids in the class were running around the playground shouting, "Who's left-handed? Who's left-handed?" Noelle said, "That's not how we should do it." "Why not?" Todd said. "Did you hear Mr. Merlin?" Noelle said. "Not all the people who are left-handed lick from the right, but not all the people who are right-handed lick from the left. What we need to do is find people who lick from the right to the left, no matter which hand they use." "Oh, yeah," Todd said. Noelle looked over the playground. She had forgotten that so many kids went to their school. "We need some suspects," she finally said. "Do you think it's one of the other boys in our class?" Todd shook his head. "Nah. After Mr. Merlin told us how people licked envelope flaps, I saw Amberly ask the boys in the class to show her how they licked theirs. They licked from left to right. And they're all right-handed, too. I went to sharpen my pencil while we were doing spelling so I could check out everyone. They were all using their right hands. But it was really weird. Leon, he, well, he used his right hand, but he was really bad at cursive. I could hardly tell what the letters were. He really needs to practice." "We have to think of someone who might have sent Amberly the letter," Noelle said. "Well, she wasn't in our class last year," Todd said. "She was in Mrs. Robertson's. Maybe it's one of the boys who was in her class last year, but who's in the other third grade class this year." "Oh, yes, Todd. That has to be it," Noelle said. "I'm sure one of them wrote her the letter." They ran to the middle of the playground. They looked around. Finally, Todd spotted the 8 boys in the other third grade class. They were playing basketball. "Let's test them," Noelle said. She and Todd ran towards the basketball court. "Hey, you guys, stop!" Noelle shouted at them. We need to talk to you." The boys stopped their game and stared. "I'm going to give you a test," Noelle said, when she and Todd reached the edge of the basketball court. "I want you to lick the flap of the pretend envelope." The boys gave her a really strange look, but then they held up their pretend envelopes and licked the flaps. Noelle watched them carefully. They all started on the left-hand side. Here they are. That meant that they had licked the envelope. They hadn't licked the envelope that Amberly sent. They needed somebody who licked from the right first. The bell rang to end recess. The boys grumbled not being able to finish their game. Well and Todd headed back to the side of the building. They stopped at the water fountain to get a drink. The second bell rang. "Oh, no," Todd said. "We're late for class." They ran down the hall. They ran into the classroom, and the rest of the class was already starting on their math problems. "You're late," Mr. Merlin said. He gave Noelle and Todd a stern look. "If this happens again, I'll have to send you to the office for a tardy slip." Noelle felt so embarrassed. She bowed her head. She walked slowly down the aisle toward her seat. She passed Leon's desk. She stopped. She couldn't believe what she saw. Leon was doing his math problems with his left hand. But he was just writing cursive with his right. Wait. But he did cursive poorly with his right hand. Maybe that was a false lead or a red herring. We'll find out. Find a false lead in your book. Can you name it? If you can, write me a post-it about it.